Next time you look at a giant, perfectly synchronized video wall in a sports bar, don't think of it as just a bunch of big TVs. Think of it as a heavily encrypted, cinema-grade data center hiding just behind the drywall. Welcome to today's deep dive.
Yeah, it's great to be here to dig into this stuff because we usually just look at the final polished image, right? Like the game on 80 screens, and we just completely ignore the infrastructure required to put it there.
Exactly, and that's our mission for you today. We are unpacking a highly technical spec sheet from HDTV Supply. It's for a device called the Vitec, which used to be Exterity AVPLY-M9305-009, a AvediaPlayer, long name, but it exposes the complex tech you walk past every single day.
Right, because a device like this Vitec M9305 reveals just how heavy that processing load actually is in reality.
Yeah, looking at this, my first thought was, it's just a media player taking a video signal and passing it to a screen, but it's actually holding a massive 32 gigabytes of internal storage.
Which is huge.
Right, and it's specifically to run something called RTO Sign digital signage.
Yeah, and that local storage completely changes the device's function. I mean, in commercial AV, relying on constant network streaming for complex digital signage is just incredibly risky.
Because of internet dropouts.
Exactly. If the internet hiccups, a 50-foot display goes black in front of hundreds of customers, which is a total disaster. So having 32 gigs of local storage, it allows for incredibly intricate scheduling of high-quality assets right on the device itself.
So it's less like a short-order cook just, flipping whatever burger gets ordered, and more like a restaurant's head chef coordinating this complex, perfectly timed tasting menu.
I love that analogy.
Thanks, yeah. It basically holds all the ingredients, the assets, and controls exactly when they hit the screen.
And keeping with that restaurant setup, a head chef needs an impeccable team of waiters to deliver that menu flawlessly. For this Vitec player, that delivery mechanism is just a massive array of connectivity options.
Okay, let's translate some of these specs into plain English for a second. We're looking at dual RJ45 ports, which are essentially hardwired Ethernet connections.
Right, and two of them, so there's an automatic backup if one fails.
That makes total sense. There's also Toslink, which handles high-end optical audio plus USB hot plugging for auto-mounting external drives. Oh, and it passes through theater-grade Dolby Digital Plus audio.
And don't forget the strict anti-piracy measures, too. It includes a digital padlock system known as HDCP version 2.2 decryption.
Wait, hold on, though. Why does a digital menu board at a mall, or like a sports bar TV, need cinema-grade Dolby audio and intense copyright decryption?
Sounds like overkill, right?
Yeah, it feels like total overkill for a public display.
Well, commercial environments aren't just putting up silent, pixelated signs anymore. They are transforming into fully immersive multimedia spaces.
Oh, sure.
So they require theater-level audio specs just to cut through the ambient noise of a crowded room. And as for that HDCP 2.2 digital padlock, think about a sports bar broadcasting a live pay-per-view fight across 80 screens.
Ah, so the broadcasters demand that absolute military-grade anti-piracy protection.
Exactly. They can't risk anyone tapping into that feed.
Wow. When you realize just how much firepower and security is packed into this one single box, you really start to understand why the ecosystem supporting it has to be massive. You don't just buy one of these and plug it in.
No, not at all. You need an entire industrial AV network. And the scale of that ecosystem is exactly why vendors like HDTV Supply exist in the first place.
Right, because they don't just sell this one player. Looking at the source, they offer over 2,000 different matrix switchers.
Which are essentially the traffic cops of an AV network.
Yeah.
They route any video source to any specific screen in the building.
And buyers in this space, they rely heavily on deep technical support to make all those complex pieces actually talk to each other.
They have to. Wiring up dozens of TVs in a high-stakes commercial environment requires a level of precision and stability that consumer-grade tech just isn't built for.
Yeah, HDTV Supply actually has a 96% 4 or 5-star customer rating. And reading through the reviews, customers specifically praise the support team for solving really complex 4K resolution issues over these massive networks.
Because if a massive system fails during the Super Bowl, you can't just unplug it and plug it back in.
You'd have a riot on your hands. So the next time you walk into a venue and see a perfectly synchronized video wall or a dynamic digital menu, you now know about the heavy processing, the gigabytes of local storage, and the intense connectivity hiding just behind the drywall.
It really changes how you look at the architecture of public spaces.
It completely does. Which leaves us with something to think about. If a standard digital sign requires 32 gigabytes of local storage and theater-grade audio processing today, what kind of invisible, high-powered infrastructure is going to be required to run the interactive, augmented reality public spaces of tomorrow?